This is the Kickass Shower Awning Tent, and at $99 on special, it is the cheapest shower tent you can buy in Australia. And honestly, with a name like Kickass, you'd expect it to be pretty good at kicking ass. But after 18 months of ownership and use, the real question is, do I regret buying the cheapest option? Stick around because the answer is a little bit more complicated than a simple yes or no. What's up everybody, I'm Ayman and welcome back to Bush Business. Now that I've got my camper trailer, I needed a second shower tent, and this got me wondering, would I buy the Kickass shower tent again? Or would I upgrade to something else? The tent has been on every single family camping trip since I've bought it, and we have used it as a privacy screen for the bathroom and portable toilet, not just showers. Now for disclosure, just like all my other videos, this is not a sponsored review, I paid for this tent myself. Therefore, what you're getting here is an honest, long-term review. Also, before we get into it, I'm not covering the specifications today. There is a great video from Alex at Camping Gear Guide that covers that in detail. Link is in the description below for you to watch later, but finish this video first. Starting off with the usability, because if it wasn't easy to use, it would have been in the bin a long time ago. Setting it up takes less than 60 seconds, unzip, let it roll out, fold out the arms, lock them in, and you're done. You can peg it down to stop it from flapping around in the wind, but much more on this later on. Packing it away is still easy, but takes a little bit longer. The arms don't fold into place neatly, but the vinyl cover is big enough to close the zipper without playing Tetris to make it all fit. Simple, straightforward, no huge problems there. For a $99 tent, I didn't expect much from the materials or the build quality. However, to my surprise, the materials have held up remarkably well for something this cheap. After 18 months living on the roof rack, the vinyl cover has no weathering, no discoloration, and zero damage. And I have never unrolled the shower tent and found moisture inside, so I'm assuming it remained fairly water resistant as well. The fabric on the tent itself is still in pretty good condition, and I dare say it almost still looks brand new. No rips, no damage, and most importantly, it has never developed mold. The zippers, both inside and out, have never jammed once and are still perfectly functional. The arms are still functioning as well, and they don't appear to be sagging or bending, although the locking mechanism does look a little bit flimsy. I can't see any rust on the hinges or anywhere else on the tent either. For a $99 tent on special, you've got to give it credit for how it's held up. The materials haven't aged at all. But nothing is perfect, and this tent has one major flaw: wind. Anything beyond a gentle breeze and this tent becomes unusable. Even with the bottom peg down, the tent flexes so badly in the wind that I genuinely worry about it snapping and damaging my cruiser. And that repair bill would cost a lot more than the tent is worth. Every time we camp near the beach or a windy location, this tent cannot be opened up and used. And when you've got a portaloo with kids that need to use it, the workaround is not pleasant at all. Despite the tent itself being reasonably well made for what it costs, Kickass have cut the most corners in its mounting hardware. The L brackets are very cheap and very flimsy. And to see how much of an improvement I can get out of this tent, I decided to go out and buy a set of brackets, the kind that are designed for 270-degree awnings. Kind of overkill, but that was the whole point. I want to really see how strong this tent is if the brackets were not an issue. After a bit of grinding to make them fit, the Kickass tent went back up, and whilst not completely removed, the flex is far better controlled. To test whether the arms and hinges could actually handle some real force, I decided to do something I haven't done in 10 years. A chin-up worth 80 kilograms on the arm tent. And it was a wake-up call that I needed to go back to the gym. But I'm glad to report that the arm didn't snap and the hinge didn't break. The arms and hinges are perhaps not as bad as you would assume for their cost. But I do, however, believe that the weakest link now would be the arm locking mechanism. But only time and real use will confirm this. With this out of the way, and the tent now windproofed, let's go back to the main question. Do I regret buying the cheapest shower awning tent available, and will I replace it with something better? Well, the past 18 months proved that this tent does the job. The materials have held up, it's easy to use, and with better brackets, it is usable in the wind. If my budget didn't allow for anything else, I would absolutely buy it again. However, when you start adding what this tent is missing, for example, brackets so it's reliable, a cover so you're not getting rained on, lights so you can actually see inside of the tent with the cover on, a floor so your feet stay clean after a shower, you realize pretty quickly that what you've bought is just a privacy screen. And that's when the cheap option starts to feel like a cheap compromise. Kickass do offer a premium shower tent, and this does have a cover, LED lights, and a floor base at the cost of better brackets, and it works out to be over $300 for what is still effectively the same cheap tent with a few add-ons. And when you consider the alternative options on the market at that $300 price point, you realize that the Kickass tent is not good value for money. For example, right here is the Sun's Adventure 4x4 shower awning tent. I picked it up for around $250 at the Brisbane 4x4 show on special. It has much stronger brackets, much stronger arms, much stronger hinges, and a better locking mechanism. It also has better fabric, a roof, a floor, built-in LED lights, and flaps that drop all the way down so nothing sneaks up on you when you're at your most vulnerable moment. I will be doing a full long-term review on the Sun's Adventure tent in the future, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. But for now, if budget is your limiting factor, the Kickass basic tent for $129 or $99 on special is a fantastic stepping stone. But understand that you need to upgrade the brackets straight away and that you are missing many creature comforts. Anything beyond that, when you factor the price of the brackets and the missing features, consider skipping Kickass entirely for a more premium tent that is better designed and engineered, especially if you can find a bargain like I did with the Sun's Adventure tent. I hope this review helps those of you out who are deciding whether to go budget or premium on a shower tent. But if you already own a shower tent, drop a comment below and share how yours has held up. Your feedback might help other viewers make a great decision or avoid making a bad one. Also, if you enjoyed this review, give it a like and subscribe. It goes a long way to help me create more videos like this one so you can benefit from them in the future. Finally, be sure to check out the next video right here because you might enjoy it too. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.